Alright, so this video has already been finished by the time I'm recording this piece of audio you're listening to right now, and 45 minutes after the video was done and I was working on the thumbnail, an update was released where Activision clarified that the patent that they had in 2015, which was basically microtransaction based matchmaking, was an experiment. It was exploratory, has not been implemented in any games. Michael Condrey from Call of Duty World War II, one of the lead guy there, said that there is no way it's in Call of Duty World War II. Absolutely not. It's also been confirmed to not be in Destiny 2. And this video will stay up as a lesson to me and you and any other YouTuber. Do not hop on things too quickly. Do not jump on situations before all the information has been released. If I would have uploaded this video without reading this information, I would have looked like an idiot. I could have misinformed people. I could have pissed people off or led people astray. So to the controversy, conspiracy, hypercritical channels out there, please don't do this shit, because you can start a fucking wildfire before the information has gone out. Now, my video is very inflammatory, it's very wait and see, but it's still done from an area of ignorance, and now that I'm not ignorant, I'm recording this bit of audio. I should have waited to get proper information before making this video. That's my fault, but I put enough time into recording this with my hurt throat that I'm not just going to let it sit on my hard drive or get thrown in the garbage. So here it is for you guys. You maybe can learn something from it. I have a video coming out soon called Sledgehammer Can't Afford Outrage, and this whole situation and topic is going to tie into that really well. So I'm just trying to stay honest with you guys, and to just clarify before this video starts, this whole patent was exploratory. They haven't used it. They're not going to use it. It was just granted, but they're not using it. It was an experiment. So yeah, always look into things before making videos or forming opinions. Enjoy. Alright, so hey there, this is One Boom, and I've been sick for about 2 days now, and I'm just getting over it, but I'm still a little congested, so I'm sorry if my voice doesn't sound absolutely perfect. But a lot of you hardcore Call of Duty fans might have heard on Twitter today from Charlie Intel. I'm sorry if you can hear my mouse clicking, I'm just trying to go between the article and everything to make sure I'm not getting anything wrong. So in case you don't know, Activision has a new matchmaking system patent that just got granted, I think today. This patent was proposed in 2015 and just got granted now at the end of 2017. It will be linked down in the description below, and you are not allowed to argue with me. You are not allowed to talk in the comment section about this situation until you read it. I don't care how many videos you've seen. I don't care how many opinions you've heard. I don't care how long you've been on Twitter. I want you to read what is in the description, and that will enlighten you if you can read at a 3rd grade level. And the reason I sound so angry is that this kind of situation fuels the controversy channels. It fuels the hate channels. I'm sorry, it's really cringy to call them hate channels, just the very critical channels. I'm talking about the 8 Thoughts and the BD Dobbins and the White Boy 7 Streets. Any sort of anti-video game channel, anti-AAA channel, anti-COD channel, they're gonna run with it, and it's gonna basically sound like Activision is going to make the matchmaking cater towards people that have purchased weapons so that you die by them and want to purchase the weapons. And I guarantee you there will be videos out that fully explain what's going on in a lot of detail, whereas I'm going to talk about this more in the abstract and not in the technical. So I'm sorry about my sick voice, but I am going to try to read this for you. This is like the most important thing I read, so I'm going to click over to that now. And it says, in an implementation, when a player makes a game-related purchase, Microtransaction Engine 128 may encourage future purchases by matching the player, e.g. using matchmaking described herein, in a gameplay session that will utilize the game-related purchase. Doing so may enhance the level of enjoyment by the player for the game-related purchase, which may encourage future purchases. For example, if the player purchased a particular weapon, Microtransaction Engine 128 may match the player in a gameplay session in which the particular weapon is highly effective, giving the player an impression that the particular weapon was a good purchase. This may encourage the player to make future purchases to achieve similar gameplay results. They're talking about this player that purchased a weapon. They're talking about him as if he's a robot. And unfortunately, you are not a bot when you play Call of Duty, and your enemies are not bots. So when we read through this, it says it will try to match the player in a gameplay session that will utilize the game-related purchase. So I'm guessing if you got a, let's just put this in an example. By the way, we do not know what game this will be or has been or tried to be implemented in. We don't know. Okay, we have none of that information. You can't call out Advanced Warfare or Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare or Modern Warfare Remastered. This patent just got granted, alright? They went for this in 2015. So that kind of makes it sound like it was going to be used for Black Ops 3 or Advanced Warfare. And it's official that this system is not implemented in Destiny 2. But going back to what I said, why did I say that it's like they're describing a robotic player? It seems like they're describing a robotic player because the idea is that if the circumstances in Call of Duty cater towards you, you will do well, you will have fun. If you've played any first-person shooter long enough, you know this is not the fucking case. Even if it went out of its way to match you up with terrible players on a sniper rifle map, after you get a sniper rifle out of a supply drop, you will not be guaranteed a good match, even if it tries its hardest. Also, if you are being put in matches against people that have supply drop weapons so that the game makes you want to buy supply drop weapons more, one key thing has to be remembered: it's still fucking up to you. If this system is actually implemented into a game that has supply drop weapons, it will raise sales by like 2%. I'm sorry, that is a crazy high number. That's like, what, like homosexuals in America? No. Like 0.5%. Especially since this system has not been implemented yet, and I think we've all died by supply drop weapons in the last 4 Call of Duty games. But you see now, if there's supply drop weapons in a Call of Duty and people die by them, they're going to be pointing and screaming at this patent saying that it's a system that's out to get them. And beware of the YouTubers that capitalize on this, because we do not know what's going on. Like I said, what they're describing is so eerily specific, everything would have to fall into place for the system to work. The low KD players have to not put up a fight, the map has to be perfect, the player that got the gun actually has to be relatively decent, and then that player would have to be stupid enough to think that has anything to do with their new fucking gun. All it would take is a rational person to go, I know there's this system in place that makes it so I get easier matches if I buy a gun, potentially, but I've had good matches before I bought weapons. I know those good matches are inevitable and do not require me to purchase microtransactions. I'm not an idiot. This might work on a dumb child that has unfiltered access to his mommy's credit card, but as rational adults, it won't work on us, and now that we know that this patent exists, and we know that it hasn't been implemented, but that it might be, we'll be on our guard even more. It is still up to you whether or not you fucking buy supply drops. They could make it so you have God mode when you buy supply drop weapons, but it's still up to you whether or not you want to play a game that's like that or buy supply drops. Also, I almost guarantee Sledgehammer is going to put weapons into supply drops in Call of Duty World War II a lot later down the line. I'm guessing it's going to be stuff like a lever action or a revolver, some little things like that, things that existed during World War II but maybe weren't used actively in combat. But this system seems like an unnecessary thing that maybe would have worked if it was kept quiet, but it wasn't. See, now people will be either mad or pleasantly aware of what buying supply drop weapons do, so people with a lot of money will have unfair advantages, causing a fucking outrage. Some people are more bothered by supply drops than others. I'm only bothered by supply drops when they are completely integrated into endgame content and post-launch content. Meaning, in Black Ops 3, when I was max prestige, level 221, and had dark matter camo, and I was getting bored, and I couldn't get any guns out of supply drops, that was a bit of an issue for me. I didn't take that very well. But I didn't feel like people were paying for an advantage in Black Ops 3 or Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, or Modern Warfare Remastered. I saw it as they got lucky and got more content than me, and that made me a little bit bitter, but they don't really ruin the game for me. And especially in Infinite Warfare, they have by far the best supply drop system, where most of the best, most practical variants are very cheap and can be purchased in bulk. And all of the weapons that weren't variants that got added in went to Season Pass holders for free, or went to non-Season Pass holders at the expense of having to complete a challenge. Either way, I encourage you to read everything that's going into their new matchmaking system. Some of it seems unnecessary and stupid, and other things actually seem like genuinely good features if they are properly implemented. And just because the patent covers certain things doesn't mean all of those things will make it into a foreseeable Call of Duty title. And I'm not really sitting here trying to defend Activision or Call of Duty, I just don't want outrage like with skill-based matchmaking and all these other Call of Duty rumors that happen. Every time you lag, it's because the dedicated servers aren't real. Every time you get put up against difficult opponents, because skill-based matchmaking wants to cater towards noobs. These things branch off conspiracy theories, they branch off outrage, they branch off with belligerence, and these things, they're not as big as they sound. It sounds like a corporation that's trying to manipulate you into buying things, but you're smarter than that. We are all smarter than that, and the 0.5% or even the 1% of people that aren't smarter than that, they probably were going to buy supply drops fucking anyway. I mean, let's face it, these things are making millions and billions of fucking dollars. Do you think this system is going to start ruining your gameplay experience? The controller is still in your hand. You still can shoot and kill opponents. You still die in the same amount of shots. This is not changing the way the game plays to cater towards some douchebag that can drop $100 on a fucking supply drop system that's rigged for a game that only has a 1-year life cycle. So don't fall for outrage. Even if someone makes an interesting point, even if somebody during World War II buys a supply drop, gets a gun out of it, and then gets into an easy match, that does not equal evidence. We have to be told these things. How can we even tell if this patent is real? How can we know this wasn't already implemented in some other way that isn't specific to what this patent entails? The question is, can we really trust anyone? Can we really trust anything that we see? Even if Activision comes out and says this is not being implemented for Call of Duty for a very long time, this was an experiment back from 2015, can we still trust them? You can't give in to outrage, and even if you're 99% sure about something, it's still speculation. And that's a quote from my favorite United States press secretary. So, full summary here, I am not taking sides. I am saying this system still depends on human interaction. It still depends on human variables and the wants that people have. This system is only really going to cater to people that were already going to buy supply drops anyway. We don't know all of the logistics, we do not have the full story, so avoid conspiracy theories and jumping to conclusions. We will wait this out for official information from Activision, official information from Call of Duty and Sledgehammer. And I guarantee you BD Dobbins is working on a video on this right now. I guarantee you all of the big critical channels are going to be on this right now. And whatever gaps in information we have, they're going to fill with speculation, conspiracy, and ultimately going to bring it back to an agenda that's out to get you, when I honestly don't think it's that sinister, and I think it looks a lot worse than it does. You're going to see a lot of people now making correlations. Oh, this is why this match went this way. Oh, this is why this player was paired up with me. Oh, it all makes sense. It's because of this system over here. So you're going to see a pandemic of confirmation bias. So put on your bullshit suit, tighten up the seams, because you don't want to breathe that shit in, because you'll start seeing it everywhere. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys heard me out. If you stayed to this point in the video, let me know that purple is better than black. See you when I see ya. Goodbye.